Greetings ladies and gents, welcome back to the Craft Hammer. I'm your host Stefan, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the future of my Space Marine force. And before I go into too many details, make sure to subscribe. You would have figured out in a few videos before, if you've been here since then, that this year of 2025 is the year when I try and make it all the way to 2,000 points for tournaments specifically. And even though I technically have Marines that I could make a 2K army, I wanted to ensure that I have a very thematic but also focused on the Black Templars and specifically my version of them. So make sure to subscribe, like this video, and check out our previous ones, as we will be doing more tournament updates, more recaps, and of course hobby updates as this project goes along. So today, after the Christmas holiday period, we did a bit of building in the time that we had, and I just wanted to show you where the project is, what other few things that I need to add to it and also build, and then of course we obviously need to get all this primed and make sure that it's actually painted. But for today, we're just gonna give a quick update, a quick hobby update, and then yeah, we'll take the project from there and see how it goes. So let me quickly pan around and we'll look at the troops that I've managed to build so far. Now, before we go into the panorama of the whole army, I did want to point out the codex. This is obviously from their launch box. I don't know if they've actually released a second one yet. I think in 10th edition we're still waiting for an update for the Templars, but I just wanted to point this out as I really love the cover art that they decided to put on it. I do hope that going forward, maybe they will instruct their new artists to take a lot of inspiration from this old grand artwork, and hopefully they will put their own spin and modernize it and see how, you know, the new artists of today will take something like this and change it up a bit. Now, moving on to something that isn't yet finished. These are the Pyre Blasters from the Leviathan box, and the reason why I haven't actually built them yet is that I was planning on making under 5-minute instruction tutorial videos with these, and I'm hoping that soon enough, maybe in not next week, but probably in like 2 or 3 weeks, you will be starting to see a few of these instructional videos to help out new beginners, get them into the hobby, give them little snippets that they can look for when starting the very basic things, and then from there hopefully they can take that instructions and then figure out more complex things from more, you know, fancy channels that have better painting stuff. So that is what is here, and of course they will also be joining this army as a whole, so do make sure to stay tuned if you are interested in some small tutorials. So I'll get these out of the way and then we'll start looking at the army as a whole. I'll give you a nice panorama here of the models that are currently built and ready for priming, and I'll give you more details on the actual specific units, but we might as well start off with the 2 boxes. We do have, I believe this is probably one of my first Primaris vehicles, apart from the 2 Dreadnoughts, and I really liked the Gladiator, more specifically the Reaper, so I definitely want to ensure that I have the firepower needed for turns, so that's why he is next on the building block. And then of course we have my 5th box of Primaris Crusaders. As you will see, I do have currently 4 Crusader squads, but these ones are all built for close combat, hence why this one is the last one to be built, which will be focusing on the shooting. Even though shooting is not their main strength, it is just something that I wanted to have for thematic purposes, and hopefully they will be a nice little addition. But the basis of the army are these 4 Crusader squads that are for melee. Hopefully they will do pretty well on the field. Maybe I might need to get some rhinos to kind of push them up, or maybe the Primaris repulsors. I'll see which ones make more sense, but I definitely need some sort of transport, or I just need to make sure that they don't get shut off on the first turn from the board. Moving on to the 2 big guys that I mentioned earlier, we do have the Ballistus Dreadnought from the Leviathan box, and we do have this Redemptor Dreadnought that was from the launch box of the Black Templars, and I just never really got around to actually building him, but now it makes sense to ensure that I have some heavy hitters that can join into the fight and support the actual troops themselves. So these will be painted up nicely. I'll be giving them some sand paste to put on their bases, and then once they're all finished and varnished, they will of course get some tufts and some flowers to fill up that base nicely. No Crusade force is of course finished without a Land Raider Crusader, specifically the one with the bolters, and there was of course two options to build this, but personally I just really like the way the bolters look, and I decided to put them in a more aggressive stance, being at the front. I think it looks generally good. I might fill it up with some Sword Brethren and fly it up the board, see what kind of chaos they can enact upon the battlefield. So that's that old vehicle there. Whether or not Land Raiders will remain for much longer, we shall see. Hopefully they do, and they don't get replaced with different Primaris vehicles. I think they just have a aesthetic that will be missed if they go, so hopefully they will stick around for much longer. Moving on, we do of course have a squad of the Gravis intercessors, the heavy intercessors. I just like the way they look, nothing too much. I gave them the old Mark III iron helmets. I don't expect that they will be a super great tactical addition to the army, but I do like how they look, so wanted to make sure that they had a spot in this force. And in front of them, although the Blood Angels were a bit of a disappointment for me, I did decide to take their Sanguinary Priest and switch him up a little bit and make him into a Templar Apothecary. So that will be a nice little addition. And then moving on towards this side, as you may have seen from my both tournament reviews and also my Templar Army showcase, we do have some of the new Terminators with the Mark III helmets, and of course I wanted to make sure to increase that and get them up to 10. We also gave them some nice little backpack additions. These are from the Necromunda gang. I can't remember what they're specifically called, but they are the one that are zealots and have all the iconography on them, so I just snipped a few of those off of their kit that were spare and used them as little backpack additions, which I think will look very nice when they're painted up. Last but not least, we of course have our little command squad center here. We have a Terminator Chaplain, the new Terminator Captain. Even though I have the Leviathan one, I also liked the style of this one, so I wanted to make sure to add him to the force. And we do have a Horus Heresy, I believe, company champion, something like that. I can't remember the name specifically. I decided to get him, give him a Crusader helmet, and of course a Templar shoulder. So he will probably be some sort of lieutenant, maybe even a captain, and I think he looks like a nice little addition to the force overall. And we can't forget about the High Marshal himself. He is of course built in a few little bits so that it will be easier for painting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him finished, but I'm also a bit worried on how I'm actually going to paint him. He is a very complex character and there's a lot of detail on him, so it's going to take a while. I'm not sure if he'll be done anytime soon. He might in fact be one of the last models that I paint, but I'm definitely looking forward to adding him to the overall collection. So a very quick and short hobby update here. Now at the time that I'm actually filming this, apparently we're going to be having a snowstorm fairly soon, so I suspect that I won't be getting around to priming any of these maybe in the next week or so. And what I think I might do is focus on doing the videos for the instruction tutorials, and hopefully during that process things will warm up and maybe I can also get some of them primed for that instructional video. And once the weather changes, I do plan on priming everything that you see here. It will take a lot, and I think some of the stuff that is currently on my painting block will have to take a backseat, as I would like to get these ready and going hopefully by the summer at the latest. I know it's a very ambitious thing. Personally, I don't particularly mind having to do batch painting. It's just that I need to get them primed, and it will take a while. Many details on all of them, and yeah, let's see how it goes. I think they will come out fairly nice, and I can't wait to see them all done up uniform. I think I plan to do the weapons yellow, as I've been doing the Terminators in the previous color scheme. So they'll have yellow weapons. These guys will of course have their black shoulder pads. The normal troops will go in my normal scheme, where they have the grey shoulder pads with the gold trim, and their weapons will also be yellow. The chain swords, I'm thinking of doing hazard stripes, and that will hopefully bring the whole thing together. So lots of painting to do, lots of priming, hopefully by summer, and we can bring it to some tournaments and give some nice good tournament reviews soon. If you have any suggestions on vehicles to add to this force, I was thinking maybe I might need a Primaris. I believe it's the Repulsor Executioner. Might need to add that for some really heavy firepower, but I do suspect that what I currently have on the table here might already be over 2,000 points, but it would be nice to have things to swap in and out just in case some scenarios might pop up and I might need to adapt to new things that might be happening in the game. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Make sure to like this video. We will be doing some discussion videos over the next 2 weeks, I think. If you've enjoyed my previous discussion, hopefully these future ones will also be interesting for you guys to watch. Do let me know if you have other things that you would like me to look at, and specifically any other topics you want me to approach. But for now, I'm gonna leave you. I have plenty of work to get to, so until next time, take care, folks.